Hey guys, it's Ashley, your scrapping nerd. I have a Star Wars layout today. So I made this Millennium Falcon on my Cricut. I made all these mountains on my Cricut. These are the photos from the Galaxy's Edge in Disneyland, a piece of vellum, and some galaxy paper, all from Paper Studio from my stash. So I didn't want the mountains to be so flat on the paper. So I took this heavy gesso and I start out by only doing like the sides, and it's just like little clumps so that there's higher parts to it. But then I decided I would just do the whole thing, and so I take and drop little drops all over this. And then you're gonna see I'm gonna take a paper towel and I'm gonna use that to kind of smush all the gesso, and then the paper towel also adds some texture along with all the bumps from the heavy gesso. And I do that for all of the mountains that I cut with the Cricut for both sides. And you can see here I'm gonna lay them out, and what I end up doing is I put the back mountains, they're gonna be flat on the page, and then the top ones I'm gonna put some foam on them, and then the little tiny strips of mountains, actually the one on the left side will actually have 2 strips of foam because it's going to lay on top of the second layer of mountains. So it just helps to kind of add depth to the page and create some shadows, and make the mountains look a little better than them just being flat on the page. So I use this craft adhesive foam, and I used black just in case you can see it, because then it just helps add the shadow and kind of blend in with it there. So I'm going to get that all down on the page. And then, like I said, that Millennium Falcon on the right, I cut with my Cricut. I used a free clip art and used that, and so I put some texture paste on it before I sprayed it, just to kind of make it look a little rustier. And this is us all in front of the Millennium Falcon in Disneyland in Galaxy's Edge. So this vellum I wanted to put behind the photo because I felt like the photo needed some sort of photo mat, but I didn't want to take away from the paper, and then the Millennium Falcon is just so prominent on the page and kind of the focal point, obviously aside from the picture, but I just thought the vellum added a nice photo mat without being too overpowering. So then I'm going to do the same thing on the right side of the page with the mountains the same way. I textured them, the back layers flat on the page, and then the top ones have foam. And I use my acrylic blocks just to help kind of hold them down while the glue dries, because with the texture it makes the mountains kind of curl up and they don't want to stick. And I apologize, I didn't realize that my video was so dark. I was scrapping at night and I didn't realize the video was so dark. So I'm gonna put these back together, and then because the mountains hang off the edge, I'm gonna cut the parts that hang off, and I had saved them just in case I wanted to fill in any open voids in the mountains, but I actually liked how all the mountains turned out, so I didn't need to fill anything in. So I'm going to get that all cut out, and it looks really nice. I'm liking how they go across the page there. And so I wanted to bring the colors from the Millennium Falcon on the left side over to the right. So I'm gonna take this 8.5 by 11 and spray it with the same sprays. So this one is Perfect Pearls, Mist, and Pewter. And then I'm gonna use Distress Oxide spray in Vintage Photo. And then the last one will be an Ice Spruce. And this is exactly the colors I used for that Millennium Falcon. I think it's nice. It just kind of brings that color over to the right page. So I'm going to lay everything back out, and then you're going to see my large photo mat here for the photos on that side. The upper left corner I felt was blank, so you'll see I'm going to cut a title with my Cricut. So these are all the photos. Isn't that cute? That bottom right one is them, and they actually, I don't know if you can see it in the video, but there's a little bird on his shoulder. They had him hold out his hand, and then they put that bird in there. So it's adorable. And so here's the title that I made. I thought about putting the Galaxy's Edge in between the Star Wars words, but I didn't like how that turned out. And then I usually have a lot more embellishment clusters on a page, so this one was really hard for me. I went through this Simple Stories Say Cheese sticker book and pulled out a couple sayings, like that says big smiles, I think there's fun. The one that I put on the big photo at first says what a bunch of characters, but I'll actually move that to that circle up on the right page that looks like a firework. And I'll back all of these sayings with some black cardstock. And I decided I'm also gonna put this on foam so that it kind of lifts off the page and creates like a shadow effect also. So I'll get that all glued down. Get my title glued down. I finally decided that the vellum was what I was going to use for that. So I thought I should put some on the right side, but I never did put any vellum on the right side. But I guess it kind of helps to make this, because this is a 5x7 picture of all of us, kind of helps to make that one stand out. And this Millennium Falcon just kind of takes up the whole page, and I couldn't add as much of my embellishment clusters that I like to normally because this was such a large feature on this layout. Use the acrylic blocks again to help hold that down. I'm going to get this glued down, and on this side I glue the mountains down on top of the pictures there. So I'm going to get all that glued down. But I really like how this turned out. You're going to see I'm going to find some black sparkly enamel dots to kind of put around my little clusters here. Because like I said, I just feel like it needed more. I thought about putting them kind of all over the layout to add kind of like a star effect or a galaxy effect, but those papers have enough of the like white splatters on it that I just decided to only put them around the clusters and my title. So I'm getting those all down, and that's really not much else to the layout. That's it. So thank you for watching. If you could like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. If you're already subscribed, thank you so much. I hope everyone has a great day. Thank you. Bye.